All right. Well, my name is Jason Kinnear, and I'm from the Study Abroad office, and I'm joined by some amazing colleagues from the Department of Romance Studies and from the Department of Biology. So if you could each introduce yourself. Dorothea, you want to introduce yourself, please?
Thank you, Jason. I'm Dorothea Heitsch. I'm teaching professor in French and Francophone Studies in the Department of Romance Studies, and I'm also study abroad and undergraduate advisor. Welcome.
Okay, Daniel?
Sure thing. My name is Daniel Matute, and I'm associate professor in the biology department. I have been at UNC for about 7 years, and I am actually quite happy to talk to you about whatever.
Okay. Elaine, do you want to say hi?
Oh, hi, I'm Elaine. Sorry, I was going to let Daniel carry all this. I'm advisor for study abroad in the Department of Biology, and I've been involved in biology for probably close to 20 years.
Okay, so I'm going to start our PowerPoint here. Okay, so the purpose of today's session is to just explore why adding language and culture study to your STEM program when you go abroad. So Daniel, could you talk about some of the benefits for STEM majors of adding a language and culture component?
Sure thing. I'd be happy to. Well, I think that I am actually quite attuned with the idea of speaking a second language and actually just studying abroad. Right now I am in Colombia collecting mosquitoes, so essentially that exemplifies the importance of just establishing international connections just to pursue scientific questions in the long run. Our goal here right now is to collect mosquitoes that transmit disease, and that simply wouldn't be possible if I was not able to just interact with the community, to speak the language with the local scientists. And frankly, the possibility of studying abroad, just establishing that kind of ties in the long run. When I actually bring people to my lab, I do look for people that have that type of, a little bit of a sense of adventure, of that scientific curiosity and ability to just solve problems in the ground. And frankly, studying abroad just gives you exactly that chance of landing in a place and knowing that you just have to get things done, and that increases your confidence, increases your ability and your own belief that you're independent, that you can do things. And in the more immediate run, it just gives you the chance to just meet people that actually can mentor you, and it gives you the chance of seeing the world by itself, which is actually super important and quite fun. And I think that doing it with the UNC office actually just provides you the right environment just to kickstart it without having to start and just learn like everything, like trying to reinvent the wheel on your own, which is just never the best idea. So I most definitely think that studying abroad gives you just the chances to increment just pretty much your possibilities in every axis of your professional development, and that is particularly true for STEM.
Great, thanks, Daniel. And Daniel might have to leave us here pretty quickly to go collect his mosquitoes. So thanks for your time and for joining us from Colombia.
No problem, it's my pleasure. And I would love to stay any longer. It's just that right now, around 5 p.m. is when the mosquitoes, as you probably have seen in North Carolina, it's when the mosquitoes start coming out. So we are just gearing ourselves packing in order to get out and collect.
Perfect, thanks so much.
Absolutely, please take care.
Dorothea, could you talk about some of the benefits that you see from adding a language and culture program to your study abroad?
Yes, definitely. And of course, with the many STEM students that we have in Romance Studies, the first question always is, well, I have such a rigorous program and how can I fit it in? So just to keep in mind that if you do fit it in, you may find yourself not losing any time, but often gaining time. just because of the way that study abroad is set up. So we have here on the slide a number of benefits that are listed: proficiency, of course, and fluency in your foreign language, be it Spanish, Portuguese, Japanese, anything that you want to learn or that you bring to your own studies. Then we have the degree requirements for the language minor or major, because most of our STEM, or well, many STEM students have double majors or have an additional minor, and most of our language majors in Roman studies and across campus actually are double majors, or have 2 majors and another minor. Then you have you get to know the world more intimately, the history of the country where you are, that's listed here. Of course, that's an obvious benefit. And then you can these cross-cultural benefits. Those are obvious gains, but there are a few more that you can sort of think about, and Daniel just mentioned some of them on the basis of real-life examples. The valuable career experience that you can get, of course. And as I said, you could actually be on a fast track to graduation. You often are surprised when you go study abroad that you gain much more than just credits for one major. You gain additional credits for the minors, the double majors, gen ed credits. And then you could also consider accessing extra scholarships. When you go studying abroad, you qualify for additional scholarships. Just think about doing an honors thesis and you get a surf scholarship here at UNC. That's just one of many, many examples. Other benefits are, of course, the social skills you are developing. That's pretty obvious. But I think one of the most interesting things or aspects of studying abroad as a STEM student is that you get to know different ecosystems, for example. So the way that they solve problems in a small village in let's say Latin America or in a small town in France is very different from the way that they solve problems here at UNC. And if you want to study, for example, the Camargue wetlands in the south of France, you might come back importing some experience gained over there in dealing or to deal with how we protect the Carolina beaches. So that would be a live example. So these different ecosystems, these different ways of approaching and solving problems. Some countries are certainly more technologically advanced in certain respects than we are here in the United States. There are higher internet speeds, for example, in South Korea, but we don't really need to think about countries in their entirety. We could also just simply imagine that there are certain aspects in countries all over the world that are better developed or that are ahead of certain problems we are dealing with here. And a live example from my immediate experience would be sustainability. Sustainability is very, very highly developed in southern France, for example. And so students who want to take a STEM related course in southern France might find that they can discover ways and means that are yes, as I would say, that are maybe not known here or not developed yet, or that we haven't been considering. And so this is just these are just a few very, very concrete examples for additional gains in addition and above and beyond the points on the slide.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And this is a great quote. It's kind of long, but this is from one of our former Science in Sevilla participants. And this student, Tyler, went abroad in the summer of 2019 and is now in med school. And Tyler was a chemistry student and took a chem course there in Sevilla. And so it's just a great example of some of the benefits that the student found from studying abroad, learning new skills, and how that contributed to the work in med school that he is doing.
I just want to add that there is such a huge need for physicians, medical professionals, dentists who are fluent in another language, especially if you want to stay in North Carolina. Spanish is extremely important, but if you have ambitions to go abroad and work for Doctors Without Borders, French is very important, working in colonial Africa. So anytime you can hone your language skills is just a great opportunity for you. And medical schools are looking for students who have those skills as well.
And even if you look around here in the Triangle, there are many companies here within our area that have subsidiaries or are headquartered in other countries, in Germany, in France, in China, in South Korea. And so it's a great way to also have an in to being able to live and work abroad by doing a study abroad and then building on those experiences. So we wanted to show you some of our different types of programs that we have available so that you could get a sense. These are not all the programs that we offer, but just a few different options. Our portfolio changes every term. And so we'd encourage you to go to studyabroad.unc.edu to get the latest information about our programs that are available, especially in relation to COVID. We have a lot of programs that are currently shut down because of border entry restrictions, or high COVID rates in certain locations. And so for the latest information, you'd be able to just visit our website. But this is a program that pairs an intro to immunology course with a French language course at Biology in Grenoble. We also have a Spanish program that is focused on Spanish for medical professions that's paired with an introduction to Latin American literature. This is part of the minor for the professions within the Spanish department in Romance Studies. As we showed in that slide from a quote, we typically have a Science in Sevilla program. That program is not being run again until summer of 2023, but it's usually either a chemistry course or a biology course paired with a Spanish course. Dorothea, do you want to talk about the Montpellier program, the new Montpellier summer program?
Yeah, I can briefly do that. Most of it's on the slide, and thank you, Jason, for adding it. It's our new program that's supported by a transatlantic mobility grant from the French Embassy and also UNC. And so this is a new course on environment, society, and public policy in Southern France. It's going to be taught by our resident director of Montpellier programs and a professor from the biology department from the University of Montpellier. So this is a STEM-related course. We will do a lot of interesting projects there in this course taught in English. We will study the Camargue wetlands. We will study atomic energy, which is very contested in Europe. And there'll be excursions and projects. And then it's paired, as all our STEM programs are, with a language course for which you'll get credit according to your level. So we're setting it up such that you get exactly the credit that you want. The nice thing about it is it has 5 travel grants, $1,200 each. It's with homestays. It should be a really, really fantastic experience. It's a month long.
Excellent. Thank you, Dorothea. And Elaine is working on a new program that would be a biology program in Ecuador and hopefully will be run also in summer 2023 as well. We also have semester options in France, Germany, Spanish. These are just a couple examples. We also do internships. And so again, visit our website, studyabroad.unc.edu, for the latest information on semester and summer programs that we offer. Just a brief information about academics and credit. What kind of credits can you receive when you go abroad? Really, whatever you need. We have different types of programs based on the types of credits that you need. And so what we would encourage you to do is meet with your academic advisor to talk about the kind of credits that you need. How do you fit that in within your academic program? And then that will help, as you work with the study abroad office, determine what kind of program. All students who go abroad get the EE credit, experiential education fulfilled, but then you can also get elective credit, gen ed credits, majors and minor credit, language credits. And so it just depends on the type of program you go on, how long. And so working with your study abroad advisor and your academic advisor will enable you to determine what fits best for your academic plan here at Carolina. We also already offer a list of pre-approved courses. These are courses that students have taken in the past or that we've worked with specific departments to load into our pre-approved database. And so if you go to our website again and click on the academics tab, it'll allow you to get connected with our pre-approved database, but also it'll walk you through and give you different tools about how to research courses and credits. Program costs. Program costs really vary by program, and the first thing to know about is financial aid and scholarships. Your regular financial aid, grants, loans, scholarships can typically be applied to your study abroad. And we have a specific person, Sharon Beers, she's pictured here on the screen. She's our Assistant Director of Financial Aid for Study Abroad, and she splits time between the Office of Scholarships and Student Aid and the Study Abroad office. You can email her and she will meet with you to talk through the programs that you're looking for and what kind of financial aid options will be available. And also she can talk to you through the different types of scholarships that we offer. Typically during a typical year, the Study Abroad office awards over $1 million in scholarships. And so there's lots of money out there that's based on need, that's based on merit. As Dorothea said, sometimes it's based on the country that you're going to. Some certain programs like the Montpellier program have special grants awarded. So definitely check out our website. There's a whole section on financing your study abroad experience, and try to meet with Sharon and she can give you lots of tips and resources. How to apply for your program. The first step, just to go through these, is to go to attend a Study Abroad 101, which you can do virtually. Those are posted on our website, and you can watch those. Meet with a study abroad advisor. You'll complete an application. Sometimes you'll have a host institution application that you'll need to complete, and then you'll sign some different agreements, and then we'll do pre-departure prep for you to help you get ready to go abroad. Application components really vary. And it's entirely done through our online system. Sometimes, again, there's every application varies, but they almost always require a transcript, some short answer questions, and then also an application fee. So those are some things to keep in mind. And here is our application cycle. Our applications for summer, fall, and academic year opened today. And the deadline is February 10th. And so you can go into the system and look at those different things. You can only apply for one program at a time. And so that's something, as you're still researching, talk to your study abroad advisor if you have questions about the application requirements. A lot of them are listed on the program brochures in our website. And just so you know, applying for a program doesn't mean that you are committing to a program. There's a whole process, and your study abroad advisor can help you walk through that. Again, our website is the main source for all things study abroad for the College of Arts and Sciences. Again, you can learn about advising, scholarships, financial aid. We have a whole section for parents and family about things that they can do to support you while you study abroad. And then, of course, the academic section and all the information about finding courses and looking at all the different academic options that we have. And then this is just an example of our Heals Abroad portal, which is where our application system is. And so play around with that. Use our program search tool to be able to look for different programs that you might have available, and then you'll apply online through our system. And this is just an example of our search tool. And just some quick information about health and safety. We are really focused on running programs that will keep you safe and healthy while you're abroad. And just to let you know that we're constantly monitoring the COVID-19 outbreaks and also all other health and safety issues in different countries. UNC is one of the few schools that have been running study abroad programs safely and effectively throughout the pandemic. We started sending students internationally in fall of 2020. And so we have a great track record of sending students with no COVID cases and no other issues. And so this just gives you information, and we would share this with you and walk you through it when we do pre-departure. We would talk to your parents about how we do this, but our ultimate goal is to keep you safe and protected while you're abroad. And then of course, we have lots of different ways that you can stay in touch. Please visit our website, follow our Instagram or Facebook pages. When you study abroad, one of our things is our Heals Abroad Scholarship, where you can apply and we'll pay you to promote your study abroad experience while you're overseas. And so you can do Instagram takeovers, Facebook Reels, all sorts of different things while you're abroad. And then make sure you check out the FAQs on our website for information and updates about all different programs. And we don't have any students joining us. So do you have any questions? I will stop sharing.
How soon can we meet with an advisor?
It really varies. What term are you thinking of going abroad?
The fall 2022-23 academic term.
Okay, yeah, so you'd be able to meet with, we're doing advising for that term right now, since the application deadline just opened, or the application cycle just opened. So yeah, you could set up an appointment, and you can do that through our website. We book through our website, so just log on there and find the advisor that you're looking for. If you can't, if you don't find an appointment time that fits for you, we also have drop-ins every Thursday. So we'll have drop-ins this week, and then the week after Thanksgiving, and during the finals as well. So yeah.
Okay, sweet, thank you.
Yeah, so a couple of questions that popped up in the chat. Where do you stay? Do you stay in dorms or homes when study abroad? Every program is different. So as Dorothea was describing, their program in Montpellier over the summer has host families. Some of our programs in Spain and Latin America has host families, but we also have programs that have apartments. We have programs that have dorms, everything you could possibly want. And so some programs travel and stay in hotels. And so every program is different, and it'll describe the housing situation on the program brochures on our websites. And then when do students typically go? Haley asked, it really varies. It depends on every student. Our largest numbers of students study abroad during the summer, but we also have a lot of students who go for a semester or for an academic year. So it really depends on what works best for you and your academic schedule. Yeah, so it's pretty evenly split between semesters and summers. Yeah, so it really just varies. Any other questions?
I had another question about, I know you covered fulfilling gen ed requirements, but if we already have a large majority of our gen eds fulfilled, and we're looking to take courses in our major, is that still available for people who are in, say, more STEM oriented fields for abroad?
Yeah, absolutely. Elaine, you want to touch on that?
Yes, pretty much wherever you want to go, you can find courses that have been already pre-approved. But if you're a biology major, what you would do if you don't find something on that list and it's a place that's not as well represented, you can just send me the syllabi. of those courses, and I can give you an idea how they would transfer towards the major. But there's many, many courses that go directly towards the major, especially in biology. Chemistry is easy to fulfill, as is physics and math.
Yeah.
I actually attended this session. I'm computer science.
Mhm.
Is there someone I could get into contact with that would know more about that for transferring?
Yeah, so you want to talk to your academic advisor in computer science, or the professor who led the program, whose name I just lost.
Oh, I know, and I'm blanking on him too.
We do have a computer science program, study abroad, and I'm sorry, I can't remember, but if you start with your academic advisor, Ethan, in comp sci,
Yeah.
and then also just where depending on where you're thinking of going, where do you want to go? Do you have a sense, or are you pretty open, you just want to do comp sci?
I would like to do one of the Scandinavian countries, but
Okay.
it's like up in the air, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we actually, our program, our DIS program in Denmark has quite a few computer science programs, and they're constantly building more. We've been working with them to build that out more specifically. So it's in Copenhagen or in Stockholm, Sweden. They have 2 different sites.
Yeah.
But we also have some other partners in Scandinavia that would have comp sci courses, and they're in English. So that would be a good fit for you. And so the advisor for that is Derek in the study abroad office. So if you reach out to Derek Shepard.
Do you have his last name? Sorry.
Shepard. Yep, Derek Shepard.
Derek
Yep.
Shepard. Okay.
Yeah, so if you go to our website and go to the staff page, you'll find Derek Shepard, and you can make an appointment with him there.
Okay, thank you. And another quick question, you mentioned that the courses were in English, and that was my next question, was do all study abroad programs, depending on the country, have to have a language study requirement?
No, that also varies by country. So it'll just depend on where you decide to go. A lot of the Scandinavian programs are a mix of the local language but have a really robust English option. But say, for instance, if you were to go to Germany, it's going to depend by institution. Some of them will all be in German, some of them will be in English, some of them will be a hybrid. So it'll really vary. And so, thinking about, the courses that you need first, and then looking at where we might be able to find those at different institutions will help you.
Okay, thank you.
So if you do check out the website of pre-approved courses, DIS Copenhagen, which I think is a semester course, there's computational analysis of big data, which would transfer as Comp 590. And there's a summer program, development and programming of serious games, that would transfer as Comp 585. So obviously those would go towards the major quite well.
Okay, thank you. I see that now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there'll be other options. And yeah, Dorothea pointed out the juniors typically go abroad, and I should have added that you can go abroad anytime after after you've spent 1 semester here at Carolina, anytime through your senior year. So the vast majority of our students go either second semester sophomore, summer after their sophomore year, or sometime during their junior year. But you can go anytime. We do have some programs for seniors. We have some programs for second semester freshmen, but most students go sophomore and junior year. Any other questions?
I actually had one more question about sort of payment and also work study or internship information. So if we're with the covenant, they can put that funds instead of for housing to develop it for study abroad. And then if we were to do a work study or internship, would we work in the country that we're in or intern with the university? How would that work?
Yeah, so work study isn't available overseas, and Sharon Beers will be able to walk you through that more explicitly. But yeah, you can't. Your work study wouldn't extend, but they can. The scholarships and student aid office can sometimes adjust your aid to give you more funding to make up for that work study that you're missing out on when you go abroad. and then in terms of internships, it's really going to vary. Yeah, we definitely have internship programs, and so we can help match you with an internship either on a campus, with an organization, with a nonprofit, or with a business. And so, you could very much go and you could pair an internship with courses of study. So you could do a semester in Copenhagen, and you could do, for instance, 3 classes plus an internship at a local company. And DIS, for instance, would help you arrange all that.
Okay, stay sweet. Thank you very much. I like to hear that.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you all very much for your time. Thank you, Dorothea and Elaine, for joining us very much, and Daniel, who joined us as well. So have a wonderful evening, and please make sure to check out some of the other sessions that are offered for Study Abroad Week this week. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.